Hi, this is Joe Leigh here for Seconds Out. Kalle Sauerland joins me here for Misfits and the Zone 002.
I'm here. You're going to have to talk up a bit though.
How are you?
I'm all right. Great to be in Sheffield in a gym that is up there with the Kronks of this world, and you know what a historic gym this is. The champions out of here, the Nassims, the Kelbrooks, you name them. It's a fantastic setup, and great to be in Sheffield.
Whose idea was it to come to Sheffield? I thought it was quite a bit random, considering the last one was at the O2 Arena and no one here is from Sheffield.
The name of the promotional company is Misfits, so we do things randomly. We do things that are a bit fun, a bit quirky. I haven't been to Sheffield since George Groves became world champion, and just felt like going to Sheffield. You know, we'll have a few thousand in there Saturday night. It'd be cool. You know, this week, as I said, the last Misfits week is all about you'll get out of it what you expect. So when you're watching the Zone on Saturday night, don't expect to see, you know, Roy Jones against Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali. No, then you're going to switch off. You're not going to get that. You're going to get novice boxers, some of them better than others, obviously, like in real boxing. But most of all, you're going to get entertainment and fun, you know, and that's what it is. It's the light-hearted side of boxing. On the other side, let's respect the guys and girls on Saturday night. We've got our first girl fight as well, who have put the slog in to get up there and do this. They're celebs in their own right. A lot of them are financially independent. It's not about money for them. And it's about what you expect. And before the naysayers say you're taking from boxing, no. This takes zero from boxing. This only adds to boxing. I'd love a debate, an argument, whatever, straighter with someone who says to me that this takes money away from boxers. Absolutely not. Not a chance. You can't make that argumentation with me. Totally different segment, and that's it.
What would you describe are the key differences between this and pro boxing, though? Obviously, you've been in this for this is the second show.
Good question, because there's a lot of similarities and a lot of differences. Similarities, we've got a ring. Matchmaking. I start with a matchmaking. It's very difficult, of course, to matchmake when you don't have amateur records to go on, pro records to go on.
Just a number of followers.
Mams Taylor, my partner in the background there, together with KSI, they do most of the matchmaking because they've been around these guys in the gyms or the circuits and whatever. So it's very different in terms of matchmaking, you know. In terms of fight weeks, to promote this is a lot easier because all of them have a big following. Even the first guy or girl out on the card will probably have a few 100,000 followers. So they've all got their own following. So it's very different to, you know, trying to promote a young guy or girl on their first fight, and they're local, you know, they're a local hero, but they haven't got that following. You need to build that following up with them. These days, a bit different to when I started out. On you know, you've got social media, you've got, you know, you guys with the cameras at every sort of press event. It's not just the old school journalists anymore. So already the addition of, you know, your IFLs, your boxing socials, your seconds outs, your whatever else there is, you know, the 10-20 that you do at every press event. You've already added a really good layer to the onion, and I'm sorry to call it an onion, but that's what it is. In terms of that people can follow the storyline of boxing between events. When I grew up, you know, be lucky to you'd have to follow it via, you know, the boxing news, of course, is a great one because it's a weekly. But mainly it was like, from America, it was a lot like KO magazine was a monthly, and you'd probably be in June and you'd be reading about March events. So, you know, I think that this segment is very fun to follow because you get even more. You know, there's boxers who don't like to do too much on social media. There's some that do a lot. There's some that do little. And that doesn't mean about regarding their talent. It's just they're different. And so in this area, there's no hiding. So when you look at the way they banter with each other, I'm super excited for the press conference tomorrow. KSI is coming up for that, and yeah, it's so a lot of similarities, a lot of differences. Very good question, my friend.
Thank you. What about the ticket side of things? Obviously, we saw last time out, sold out the O2. How much better are the ticket sales?
I think we'll have about 3,000-4,000 in there on Saturday night, which it was just fantastic. I would imagine that a normal boxing event probably does similar. So I'm measuring it up, thinking that's all right, that's good. It's obviously not, KSI at the O2, etc. sold out, and it sold out pretty quickly. It's different from that perspective, but at the same time, these are the guys and girls that will go on to fill those big pay-per-view cards. The next one we're doing like that is in January. We have a show next month in Austin, Texas, with Vitor Belfort against Rak-Su Jr., which is a little bit closer, let's say, to the classic world, but very different as well. I'm excited about that one as well.
Yeah, so the show in Texas, when do you know the full undercard will be revealed?
We'll be putting sign out probably over the weekend. Similar type of card to this one, sort of, was it 7-8 fights, something like that, yeah.
So in terms of the first two, you've obviously got them out of the way now, or this one's underway. Is it something that you enjoy doing, coming from, like you keep mentioning, a classic boxing background? You are not a hardcore fan because you're involved in the business, but...
Yeah, I mean, I've got a very different involvement in these shows. So, like I said, a lot of the matchmakings I look at, but not really in a position to say, no, that one shouldn't box that one, because I don't even know who they are. So yeah, I think I really enjoy that it's fresh. Don't think I've been doing this a couple of decades and the rest. Yeah, so it's fresh from that perspective. Like, I didn't know what to expect on the Misfits first Misfits card, the O2. I just turned up
in a pink suit.
No, that was the press conference. I was in a white suit for the very. Also, it lets me dress a little bit unconventionally. You wouldn't see me in a white suit at a boxing event or a pink one at the press conference. So I thought allows me to express myself as well in a fashion sense. But most importantly, I didn't know what to expect because I'd never been to a Jake Paul fight, even KSI fight. I've never even really looked at them on the telly. So I got in there with very little expectations. And shall I tell you something? I laughed, cried almost. Thought it was a really nice emotions in there when Deji won his, lost 3 pro fights. Who gets up again and has a 4th one and then he's gone and nicked it, and it was very emotional. I thought seeing the brother as well. It was you had a bit of everything that night. You had a bit of obviously the day before the needle at the weigh-in, which you get in the pro fight game as well. But these guys were really up for it, and it's all so let's say innocent almost compared to the pro game.
No, I agree with that, to be fair. I want to obviously touch on the Conor Benn situation.
Coming away from the innocent part.
Yeah.
We'll go back to the old-fashioned classic boxing game, yep.
Just quickly touching on the other hat on, indeed. Where are we at now with the fight? Obviously, it was postponed last week. It was never cancelled, though. Do you believe Chris Eubank Jr.'s next fight, because we don't know if Conor Benn's going to get a ban yet, will be against Conor Benn?
You're probably about a week early asking me that question, but you've got to ask it. Spent the last few days with Junior looking at different scenarios, and it's such a weird situation. It's a weird week, horrible week, and the situation though is the same. They're doing their thing. So one thing we've got to stop doing is saying what you guys are doing. No, that's their side. This is our side, and they're trying to sort their stuff out. We have no more information than anyone else on the street on what they're doing. I mean, obviously we ask, and we hear the rumours as well. We heard the rumour about a second test. I saw today that Connor came out and say he'll be very happy when he clears his name and things like this. But we don't know any more than that. So from our side, we can only act as we did last week as well as Team Eubank, and we can only move forwards in a way that is for Team Eubank. And whether that means we're going to have to go out quick, we're going to have to take some time off, we're going to look at a different fight, whether they sort their stuff out in the next couple of weeks, I don't know right now. But I can only plan and put everything into place so that Junior can make that decision of what he wants. Because right now he's the agreed party, he's the party that has had an emotional car crash last week. He's holding up well, but he's gutted. He's gutted, and I'm gutted for him, for every girl and guy on the undercard, their teams, their families of the teams, and the fans that have done paid for going to the O2 last weekend. Everyone was expecting this historic event, and yeah, let's not beat around the bush. It was an absolute car crash, and that's something that hurts.
Eubank Jr. came out of that almost like it was a nationally big fight. He came out like a national hero. Would you agree? Because he still made the weight. He was funny in the build-up, and he wasn't the.
I sort of noticed it last night. He wanted to do a meet and greet and a giveaway for the fans, and it was the queue was unbelievable. I mean, on a Tuesday afternoon, I was like, right, Tuesday afternoon, London, it's raining. Unbelievable. It's like the Beatles had turned up. But would he swap all of that and had fought last weekend and been victorious and we march on? Absolutely. I'm sure of it. So it is the way it is. It's one little nice thing out of it. But, he's a fighter. And people, I think, have seen in this here is that Junior actually ticks those boxes, clean athlete. He ticks those boxes, hard working. Yes, people in the past have looked at it and said, oh, he's arrogant. He's that. Spend time with Junior, you tell me he's arrogant. No, he's very on it. He's on it. And, he's a fascinating character, but he's also a absolutely dedicated athlete, and that's it for the moment.
Well, last question for you then, Kalle. I appreciate your time. This one's a difficult one, so I appreciate your honesty. Obviously, there was a bit of an outcry at the fact that the fight was continued to be made after the positive test result. Why was that?
We followed at the end of the day, it wasn't our positive test. So we had to follow the protocols of the board. We did that to the letter. We went down to the wire on it, but it was following the protocols. So that's really all I can say on it. We did everything by the book. We did everything in the interest of Junior, and obviously in the full blessing of Junior, the knowledge of Junior, etc. But we had to follow the protocols. It would have been much simpler and someone had an open line with us, not from lawyer to lawyer, but someone had actually just said, right, let's sit down and let's work this out. This is not in our jurisdiction. This is UCAD, this is VADA. But people are correctly pointing out, what's the difference? Yeah? What's the difference? But that's something that should have been dealt with as humans and not as lawyers. I'm not saying that lawyers aren't humans, but why didn't someone sit down with us? Why not? Why not? Was there other things that we don't know about? I don't know, because all we've got is a wall of lawyers that we're talking to. There was no one who came down and said, look, you're the aggrieved party, we'd like to sit you down and run you through your rights, whatever the rules are, whatever. No, that was it. It was a bit back and forth with lawyers, and that part sits bad. That sits bad. But like I said, we have to look to the future.
Tottenham lost to Arsenal in a North London derby in 1 week as Eubank Jr. been collapsed. Not a great week.
Well, I've never had such a happy Monday morning to get the week past me.
Thanks for your time. Nice one.